points, what we really want from Season 11. However, if I remember their format correct from the last stream, right? We're going to get the Campfire chat with some videos. And then we're instantly going to get the patch notes. Because that was how it actually last time went down. If I look for youtube.com/Diablo, right? Let's quickly check into the last Campfire. That was the Season 10, right? September. Pretty much had the developer update coming. They gave us some talk. It was like really short, right? So they gave us some talk, and it was like an hour. Yeah, it wasn't even an hour long, right? It was literally just here. So we got Season of the Infernal Age. That was like a 10-minute segment. Then we got the learnings from the PDR. Then we had the Q&A, and that was already it. And we had the patch notes. Oh yes. Can we have the multi-golem and all the other minion army at the same time, Martin? Yes. However, no. Okay. So in the new patch, we will be able to use the new item, new maze, to get 3 golems. Now, Martin, here comes the very important point. The golem has something special going on. If you go for your Paragon board, and we're going to read together the Golem Mastery node. Jesus, here, Hulking Monstrosity. Your Golem has 40% life, 100% damage, scaled to Mage and Warrior Sacrifice bonuses. Grant an additional 60% Golem damage each. So you can get 100% damage, then a 60, and another 60. So a total of 220% damage bonus. Yeah. As much as I want to say, sure, you could play the mages and the warriors and the golem together. It's just too juicy to not. Sean, thank you for joining as a Knight of the Round Stable over on the YouTube as a member. Appreciate it. So that's what we got there, right? Can't sadly actually do them all 3 together. I have to focus on one thing. Coming up with D4, TLDR, how does the new season look, feel? We have some problems with the new season. The new season has something called Sanctification. Let's see if we can put up the Season 11 PDR notes. There were some... Oh, shit. Looking like if Diablo has Battle.net... Diablo has like some news, right? Where was it again? It's hard to find it like in English, as an English, like in not German, because the website is like, now you're German, I need to make everything German. Yeah, the Season 11 is going to have something called Sanctification, and the biggest problem is that Sanctification used to have bad outcomes, possible bad outcomes, right? You could make an item bonus indestructible. You could give an item a bonus affix. You could also give an item a whole new aspect. However, you could also replace a current something. So you could have the perfect item with the perfect greater affixes, and then when you sanctify it, suddenly you replace something. Or you get an aspect that's completely useless or even detrimental to your build. All of these things are possible. And it often led to a situation where the sanctification, the final step, is just useless. Ka-ching, ka-ching. You see it, brother? Miss you too, that nice English accent. I'm working on it, sir. Gotta get even more English accent in. So yeah, like... we will see, you know, how the new update truly plays out. I hope they also tweaked a bit on toughness. Patch notes are already out. I think patch notes were supposed to be out usually on release, but maybe we got them out an hour early today. Soto, you have a link for me? They shouldn't be out. Usually we get them afterwards. Maybe I missed something and I'm blind. Oh, they just posted something. You're right about that. They posted a gameplay trailer.
is always darkest before the dawn, Wanderer. And I, Hadrian, will guide you to the light.
Season of Divine Intervention. I mean, that's at least a nifty name, I'm not gonna lie.
For perhaps the first time, Asmodan speaks the truth. Heaven has abandoned you. But I have not.
PDR live? It's going to be live. On the 9th. We're still, like, today we'll get all the infos that are missing. Honestly, these graphics look so weird a bit. Like, the in-between red graphics. Like, the whole trailer is actually good. But these red graphics are so... Like, I could have made them, right? And I'm not good at making graphics. I'm not a AAA billion-dollar company. Makes you wonder. Who approved this? I mean, like, okay, so am I being petty, chat? Am I being weird? But what is this? Like, it's some random black and white thingy, right? This is obviously in Dariel's arm. Right, but what is this? Great Diablo and Diablo yet? No, Andrew, this is the Mephisto arc in case you missed it. Diablo has no place in the game yet. Ooh, what? We get Alefta? Season rank reward, Alefta. Oh, that looks great. I mean, it's a pet again, but I don't care about that pet. Oh, there's another pad. Look at that. It has wings. Chat. Tiny doggy with wings. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Darkness gathers. But fear not, Wanderer. A new day is coming. And you will be the dawn.
Season of Divine Intervention. Begins December 11. It was supposed to begin December 9. So we get Diablo on December 11. And we get Path of Exile on December 12th. Okay. Yeah, great. So, thank you for everyone participating in the public test round. We've included feedback from the PDR throughout this article. Additional changes made since the PDR's conclusion are highlighted in blue. Okay, let's see what we can find, ladies and gentlemen. There seem to be changes, and changes are marked. Okay, so items can be masterworked to a maximum quality threshold of 25 instead of 20. Each time you masterwork the item, it adds a random amount of quality, which is 225 instead of 123. That's great because it's less clicks. Quality will also slightly boost all affix value by 1% per quality level. That's huge. This is a big change, Chan. Note that the cost to masterwork now scales based off the quality of your item. This one is very, very, very important. Very important. Because if you think about it for a second, like right now, if I upgrade an item like this, right? We are actually getting, like, let's reset the masterwork. Oop. So you have the ring, right? It has a 21% golem active cooldown reduction. And if I masterwork it, we're actually sitting suddenly at 29%, and then I masterwork it further, and we're sitting at 32. In the old patch, this didn't happen anymore, right? We didn't actually increase this at all. So now we get like a slight increase in quality. That's really big, and that's changing like the whole way how the system works again. Once at maximum quality, you can roll it one last time for a capstone bonus. This capstone bonus upgrades a random affix on your item by 50%, including greater affixes. Uh-huh. That interesting. Please, how? Thank you for your subscription. But I'm not sure it's a Kayla. Kayla, maybe. So instead of now only being able to masterwork things, right? We are having the chance to also masterwork greater affixes. So if I have a greater affix on my items, like the Golem Mastery is a greater affix, I couldn't upgrade it anymore. Now I could get another 50% bonus, which is crazy. There's like the Staff of Endless Rage that I have on my Druid, for example, on my Mage, I mean. And that one gave you like a lot of Fireball bonuses, right? And now you can actually increase that even further. So here, Staff of Endless Rage, right? It had ranks to Fireball, 4 ranks to Fireball. And now with it being like the Staff of Endless Rage, the 4 ranks to Fireball could not ever go higher, but now you could get 2 more ranks on it. That's nifty, I like it. Additionally, we're increasing the amount of base affixes found on non-unique items from 3 to 4. Yeah, that was normal. Sorry, I was confused. Yeah. Okay, so take heed as enemy affixes have become even more potent. More of the older affixes, resistance-based, have been moved to torment difficulties, letting you encounter most of the new affixes in pre-torment difficulties. Nightmare Dungeon affixes that grant elites additional damage will now also apply to champions. Okay, that's unnecessary. Armor and resistance. Okay, when selecting each torment difficulty, it also provides a recommended toughness level. This is important. Caleb. Okay, then I had that correct at least. Thank you, Caleb. Very kind of you. So we get a recommended toughness level that we not have to guess if our armor and resistance is high enough. I still don't like toughness, but it's at least something. You'll also be able to compare toughness of items between tooltips to help inform your decision. Yeah, helps. I still have to get warm with the toughness system. I'm not there, right? Memnon, thank you for all the D4 content. I can't wait to create a bunch of videos. Even though I don't know how much Season 11 we're really going to play. Because 11th, this is 11th, chat. Goddamn 11th. And on the 12th is Path of Exile. So, yeah. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, Maruk, I probably think I might play Diablo after PoE season, but I'm not entirely sure. I might just do both at the same time and just try to get you as much info as possible, right? A Fortifier redesign is still the same, so that hasn't changed. Then we got changes to Welcome Back booster, ally with Hadriel. Okay, this is going to be important, chat, because I hope they don't botch up the Sanctify. We gotta hope that something gets better. We got the Lesser Evils, nothing changed about them. That's all the same. Okay. The enemies that spawn for Belial and Duriel have had their effect updated for better visibility. Belial creates giant eyeballs which blind you, and Duriel summons giant eggs that will spawn maggots if not popped in time. Yeah, the visibility was bad. Asmodon has some better resistances, so he isn't dying in one shot by powerful wanderers, and we've added his fight to the party finder. Duriel's summoning vignette has been removed to help reduce the chance of motion sickness. We figured the countless maggots were unsettling enough. Yes, they were. Belial, the ice are now popping automatically, chat. So you get close to the ice, they automatic burst. You don't have to pick them up anymore. That's huge, by the way. Her transition phase has been rapidly sped up so you can bypass her transformation. We've also changed Andariel's behavior so that if you die while fighting her, her health won't regenerate. 15. Okay, Divine Gifts, chat. Let's see if something changed about the buffs. I wouldn't think so. Nope. The Divine Gifts seem to be the same. Maggots and Helltide can drop Experience Globes, doubled while purified. Rank upgrades, Experience Globes become more potent. I mean, so far the Experience Globes were insane. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how much more potent they're going to get. I mean, we could level so far with this. Earn attunement in the Undercity to earn Obolts, doubled while purified. Oh, earn attunement in the Undercity to earn Obolts. If I get attunement, I get Obolts. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Earn achievement in the Undercity to earn salvage materials. Sanctification. Are you ready? When does the dev test start? The dev chat starts in 40 minutes and is most likely not going to have any interesting information. However, we're still going to look into it. The most interesting part is obviously the patch notes. We wanted the patch notes so we can start and talk about it, right? So we have another 37 minutes for the stream, and we can go through the notes completely, and then we can already create a note video that has everything. Okay, sanctification still happens. So sanctifying your item has a chance to apply a bonus legendary power, improve an affix into a greater affix, add a bonus affix from a pool of special sanctification affixes, replace an existing one so that one is still in and that's shit. Sanctifying your items makes it unmodifiable, ending the item's journey. This should be the last upgrade you make to your item. The possible sanctification values now have a tighter range, skewing towards higher values. Generic offensive legendary aspects have been added to the sanctification pool. In a stroke of divine intervention, mythical powers may even take root on your item. Okay, that's interesting. You could sanctify and you could get a mythic power. That actually would be crazy, right? However, they removed the indestructible. So you now literally have a 1 out of 4 chance to get a shitty outcome. Replace an existing affix with a random sanctification affix. That would be the shitty outcome. The other 3 would be good outcomes. Limpin' Granddad, thank you for the 25 centuries support. Limpin' Dunkshird, welcome back to you. Nothing else has changed. Tower. The tower here. Since the PDR, we have made the change that the tower can now unlock difficulty tiers on its own. Additionally, we're removing a few bosses which have problematic behavior. Specifically, the vampire boss Wraith and the fallen shaman boss Sower of Decay. For more details on gameplay, you can read here. Oh, that is... Yeah, okay, so that's fine. There's no bonus information. Good. Leaderboards. Introducing season rank. Additionally, okay, wait. Renown is changing in a big way. Heavenly Sigils have been added to several reward caches throughout the season rank reward caches. Also, we've adjusted and updated Paragon Point rewards. So there are now 12 new Paragon Points in Eternal Renown, as well as 12 new Paragon Points throughout the season rank rewards. So we're getting more than 25. Do I understand that correct, chat? Because formerly, we were getting 25 new Paragon Points as we're going through the system. But they added 12 more? I understand that correct. There are now 12 new Paragon Points. Huh. Cool. And there's a cool raven. Okay, we're getting... Earn additional gear from world bosses. Increase the divine favor. Chance for elite champions monsters to drop. Boots. Boost the chance for ancestral cash to appear when turning in whispers. Heavenly Sigils are the things that you need to sanctify your items. So bonus Heavenly Sigils are important. Capstone dungeons are unchanged. Unique items. Let's check if they... So the Druid, the new boots for nature magic cooldown reduction now have Endless Tempest in them. Huh. Damaging enemies with nature skills grants max movement speed and unhindered for 8 seconds. Enemies you run through are mobilized for a second. The rogue is the same. The necromancer doesn't get changed. We'll never get Templar? No, we'll never get Templar. Sir. That's obvious. We get a Barbued Hacker one-handed cosmetic. But where are the actual patch notes? Right? Because this is like all just... Wait, do we not get patch notes with details? Are we also getting detailed patch notes tonight? I'm asking right away. Mark, are there also detailed patch notes? Because December 3, ignore what I just wrote. I was wondering if we would get detailed patch notes, right? That's the December 11th update. Okay, updates from the PDR. Sanctification. Upgrading an FX to a greater FX can now also occur on non-ancestral items. Ancestral mystic items can no longer be replaced. Affixes on ancestral uniques or mythic items can no longer be replaced. Indestructible affix replaced by adding 5 to 25 quality ranks. To sanctify an item, it only needs to have an item power of 750. Affix ranges have been adjusted across the board. Yeah. Reduced item quality rewards, bonus experience. Glyph upgrades now get a scaling chance to grant an extra upgrade attempt based on divine gift rank. Rank 1 grants 25 up to 100% chance at rank 5. Purified gifts now grant 2 levels instead of 1. Lesser Evil Invasion. And Daryl no longer regenerates health. We had that. Phase transition has been Belial's death. No longer less time. This is all what we had. Mythic unique items. Ahavarian is still shit. Melted Heart of Selig is reduced to 50. Each point. Okay. Damage dealt to your primary resource before life and damage taken this way is drastically reduced. Your primary resource is doubled, but maximum life is reduced by 75%. So it's still like a mana shield, but it's not a mana shield. Damage per 10 points of strength increased from 1 to 1.2. That's an interesting scaling if you stack strength. Right? Katie, get a C there. Skilled kick has been doubled. The hitbox. Power kick, reverted fury cap. Leap, attack speed scaling adjusted because people were leaping too fast. Yep. And Fury. Aspect of Anger Management. While above your Berserk, while above 50 Fury, deal increased damage and gain Berserking, but 3 Fury drain per second. Damn. That's a nice damage increase, right? The shorter cooldown for the last brawling skill used before rename, also of them scaled based on attack speed. Blood Pool bonus damage no longer applies to the casting player. We got Paragon, increased damage. Okay, so, damn. The Barbarian is actually getting some meaningful buffs. I mean, these are obviously just number plays, but however, it will make the Barbarian stronger. Not going to change gameplay, but it's quite nice to see them just get more damage. Right? So, I like that. Well, we have Druid, Stone Burst, chance to channel damage increased. Grizzly Rage, cooldown reduced, duration increased, damage reduction increased, rank 5. Wow, cooldown reduced by another 10 seconds. Damn. Okay, so this puts Druid back on the menu. That was nice because the Grizzly Rage ruination was really bad. Gotta write my buddy Steve right away. That would be 25 seconds cooldown with 12 seconds duration. However, the problem is, after the 12-second duration, again, you have to wait the 25-second cooldown. But with cooldown reduction, the 25 seconds we could get low. Yeah, but 25 seconds, I think we can get that low enough. You're still going to have a phase where you don't have damage, right? The damage bonus. However, that's pretty good. Greater than my damage against immobilized enemies. Wow, that's good. We like that. Aspect of the rampaging werebeast. It used to have the durations increase, right? Now it says critical strikes while in Grizzly Rage. Increase your damage by 3 for 60 seconds up to 120%. Huh. The interesting part is 60 seconds, so that's kind of... Because it means that it's always up. So we have Garcia Rage up, right? But then in addition, this is like always up. You always have the 120% bonus damage, even if Garcia Rage is not active. That's good. Change to Rabid Beast Bear. Change the aspect of Rabid Beast. It used to give you 80% more poisoning damage and you passively spread rabies. Now you deal 80% more poison damage. While shapeshifted, your direct damage is converted into poison damage. Back to Poison Creeper. Okay, damaging enemies. Yeah, we had that. Movement speed. Paragon. Earthen Devastation is now a 70% critical strike damage bonus. Without having to, like, damage or Crowcatol or anything. Constricting Tendrils is increased damage to poison enemies. Nature skills have chance to poison the enemy. Might have to play Constricting Tendrils again. Might work. So Druid is back on the menu, boys. Druid is not terrible anymore. Necromancer. Attack speed increased on the Iron Golem. Useless. Reverted the Essence Cap from PDR. Doesn't matter. Remove the requirement for controlling 7 or more minions. Ba-ba-ba-bam, ba-bam. Hellbent Commander. What the problem was Hellbent Commander is, like, right now I have 5 ranks in it. But it says, while you control at least 7 minions, gain 50% increased summon damage. The good thing is, like, that counts for golems now. Aha. Timer for overpower reduced from 15 to 10. That's nice for overpower builds, but not good enough. Alberia, Shielding Storm, Zangavar. Consuming a corpse now contributes 3 souls to Vampire Curse, up from 1. Damage bonus increased. Nah, that's not enough. It would have to go up to 40 to 50% per soul. That might be good. Cruel's Embrace goes up to 120% weapon damage. Still not worth it. Mutilator Plate is good, but also needs to be more. Mendeln gets more damage. Ooh. Bone Golem's combo attack of 2 swings now counts as a single attack for the purpose of Ring of Mendeln rather than 2 separate attacks. However, that is like just a wholesale buff of damage. Interesting. Not sure if it's going to be worth it to play Mendeln, but it is more ranks to Golem Mastery, so we might just rock it, to be honest. Resource generation, resource. Okay, Rogue. Damage scaling per points of dexterity is up, so rogues get more damage wholesale. Trick Shot up. Blade Dancer up. Beastful Boots, Reverted Energy Cap. Wind Force. Scoundrel's Kiss, bonus damage. Sure. Deathmax of Nurmaturg. Not that the build was worth it, right? Sword. We heard feedback from the PDR loud and clear and decided to revisit the suit of teleport changes for the start of the season. We decided to keep the overall changes to teleport enchantment, but we wanted to give more of the cooldown reduction power lost there and put it back into the itemization. Okay, adjusted the description to specify that it invokes teleport and doesn't cast it. Skills. Brevious. Teleport dazes enemies at the endpoint for 1.5 seconds. You gain all resistance for 3 seconds after teleporting. Potent warding. Casting a skill gets resistance. Maximum barrier reduced. So you're not OP. Protection also. Not surprised. They reduce like the barriers wholesale, so you're relying more on toughness and actually go for toughness. The Oculus. Each enemy hit by the teleport increases the damage by 15 and reduces the cooldown by 0.5 of the next cast. Becoming injured will teleport you to a random location. The cooldown reduction is good, I guess. Raiment. Teleport is supposed to close enemies to you and grants 30% damage reduction. Oh, you get teleport cooldown reduction, 40%. Oh, that's kind of nifty. Sorcerer Motion. Spiritborn. Reverted Vigor Cap. Rushing Claws. Jaguar Skills deals 6, 12, 18% increased damage. Up to 3 closest enemies to you. Nice. Very reduced Frost Power. That was sure. Rod up Kabaleka. Reverted. That's also good. Maximum quality is now up to 25 from 20. Quality increases 2 to 5 from level. Yeah. Quality upgrades now increase all affix values by 1% per quality value. Mm-hmm. Fully masterworking item now gives 50% upgrade to a random affix, which can be tempering affix. Yup. Masterworking has been adjusted and scaled exponentially with item quality. Item quality 10, 5. Ah, okay. There's now a chance a tempered affix gets applied as a greater affix. Wait, there's a chance a tempered affix gets applied as a greater affix. That's bullshit. Because if that is true, that means unless your temper is a greater affix, it's a bad temper. What does it say? The patch date is December 11th because they, in their grand smartness, decided to release one day before PoE 2 instead of on the 9th, as it was planned on the 9th beforehand. So, yeah. That's that. So we can temper a greater affix. So every temper not greater affix is bad. That's kind of like, I'm not happy with this change, but it's cool, but I'm not happy with it. Resource gain tempering affixes have been added for helms and rings. So resource per second tempering affixes added for pants. Adjusted temper recipes to remove affixes from class-specific minerals that were extraneous due to existing and generic minerals or unused. Okay, toughness. When comparing items, the armor or resistance difference between items will now display as percentage of toughness instead of just displaying flat armor difference. Toughness displayed in character cheat stat window. The toughness tooltip now breaks down damage resistances per damage type. Torment difficulties display your recommended toughness. Werewind's Meat breakthrough. Yeah, I'll have to do the Werewind's Meat breakthrough like off stream and then drop a video on actually what the breakthrough did for us. So that's sadly what we're going to have to do, Mew TV, probably. Miscellaneous, or however you pronounce that. Fortify and Barrier Generation are now part of the general defensive pool of affixes that can appear on items. Monsters in the open world no longer scale 1-1 with your level. It is now offset so the player scales better than the monsters. Ah, interesting. That's really interesting because people are always complaining that getting stronger doesn't mean that you're getting stronger because everything else is getting stronger as well, right? Monster damage reduced. Monster power has been turned down slightly in early torment tiers. Base health for boss monster has been increased. The chance for items with multiple greater effects to drop has been increased in torment tiers. Aha! Aha! When a capstone dungeon, the closest affiliate difficulty is now displayed. Cooldown reduction can now naturally appear on ring, gloves, and... Uh-huh. Cooldown reduction cannot appear on rings. Because we have a ring, right? And it's lucky hit chance, crit strike, and then here intelligence, blah, 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 blah. Uh-huh. That's actually big. Because a lot of builds had the problem to get the amount of cooldown reduction necessary, especially if you played certain uniques, right? Varise tuning to capstone dungeons encounters. Varise monsters and packs spawning adjustments. Varise other minors. Bug fixes. Yeah, that's blah, 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 blah. Okay, fix an issue we're constant. Varian. No, these are all fixes. Apart from we're not properly smaller while in town while using Grave Bloom. Fix an issue where rapid passive was not granting cooldown reduction for more than 100 essence. I'll provide the bonus of momentum resistance as intended. Okay, what do we have here? Even more. I feel like we just went double and triple in the patch notes, right? Variana, healing reduced. Altkin, Ember Skiff, resource gain change. Yeah, that's not a surprise, right? That they changed that. Nickel Plate, thank you for the brand new subscription. Welcome as a subscriber of the Round Stable. Purest Undercity. Okay, increase the Tribute of Pride's legendary item rewards. The Tribute of Mystique's magic rune rewards. Increase the quality from magic to rare and reduce the drop chance of Tribute of Pride. Significantly increase the potency of Tribute of Growth experience reward before level 60. That's important because the experience rewards from the Tribute were not worth it. So that's kind of shit. Significantly increase the Refinement Opticide rewards. Then increase the Tribute of Radiance Ancestral Legendary rewards. Buffed item rewards from any Undercity run in Torment difficulty. Increase the potency of experience orbs that spawn from any Undercity run before level 60. The chance to find pre-Torment tributes has been reduced. Okay. For Yarun's teleports would teleport you in random direction. Okay, now base game changes. Let's see. We got the Druids with Endless Tempest. We heard of that before. Yeah, so far it's looking good. Nothing too crazy, but still good. Meltar of Selic get completely changed again to fit more reasonably to what it does. Went over that before. We're just focusing on the blue changes currently, chat. We're not like looking at anything else. So all of this is pretty much standard. We talked about that earlier. Grizzly Rage stacks is no longer part of the ability and cooldown doesn't start until the ability ends. However, so if the cooldown doesn't start before the ability ends, but we can get cooldown reduction on rings. So we are kind of like at 25 seconds cooldown, right? And then we get at a ring another, let's say 10% probably. So it's 0.10. So that would shave up another 2.5 seconds. And with 2 of these rings, it would already be down to 20 seconds cooldown. We definitely have to get some cooldown reduction. Like if you manage to get this down to 15, maybe even 10 seconds, that would be nifty. And then Grizzly Rage is back on the menu. Before it was too crazy. Now restores 100 spirit instead of fully restoring spirit. Energize now restores 100 current spirit instead of fully restoring spirit when the effect is activated. Whatever that was necessary to kind of rephrase that. Yeah, it's all of these are do not restore full spirit anymore. Mjolnir Ring. Okay, Necromancer. Is there anything for Necro altered? Nope. Everything for Necro the same. Yeah, they just put in bonus wording here for the aspects of energy. That's it. I think so far, if you didn't like season 11, none of these changes are gonna make you like it more, right? I mean, the changes are good, don't get me wrong. So the changes are definitely what we need, right? What makes season 11 better and what makes the systems they're trying to introduce good. However, it's no changes where you like, if you disliked it, you're definitely going to like it now. It's more like if you like it more. But tell them I like the bar buffs. Honestly, the bar buffs are fire. I can see Rob posting a video tomorrow like Barbarian is back. Here are my top 3 Barbarian builds before the season that are all cooked up already with all the changes included. Definitely gonna happen. There's like no question, right? Okay, Monster Elite affixes. We just get more and they get stronger. Right? The pit can now be entered before level 60. The base pit tier unlocked is now tier 10. The following elixirs have instance bonuses been updated. So, Iron Barbs gives more armor. Fortitude gives less life. Chat. Song of the Mountain to 10% bonus armor instead of 300 flat. That's actually better because 10% bonus armor is crazy. Rare Temple manuals now start dropping at 30 instead of 45. Characters that skip either campaign now unlock all non-stronghold waypoints for their respective region. Finally! That sounds so simplistic, but finally. Disco Delta, if they fix Thorns on Necro, Disco Delta, I don't know if Thorns will ever work correctly. Right? But what does all skill slots are now unlocked from level 1? I don't understand what that means. Progression down skill tree is faster. Core skills get unlocked after spending 1 skill point, and the next skill group is unlocked after spending 2. Ah. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Because, like, so usually you had to spend, like, if I respec all my points, right? You had to spend, like, 1, 2. Then I had to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I had to spend another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I wonder if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm already down here. Right? I mean, I don't think I can put this after 7 skill points in, but... like, at least we could reach this like here, maybe this. They might gatekeep us from the ultis away, but if I could reach the ultis with a couple of skill points, that would be really fucking cool, right? It's just fun because you get more skills and you can actually play more, right? I don't have to only play 2 skills. You could just go faster. I gotta ask. Travis, does this give us early keep passives or pretty much reverts back to normal after 2 skill points spent? I'm asking chat. So that's kind of cool. Ether rewards for Chaos Rifts and Chaos Wave Infernal Hordes have been increased. What? I mean, we've been having Chaos Rifts and Infernal Hordes have already been insane. And they have been increased. Monsters now scale attack speed as difficulty goes up in addition to movement speed. Tempering affixes now have a greater variance that you aren't limited to how many times you can retemper. That's a technical bullshit because we can still only retemper X times. However, we can add infinite retemper attempts with the scrolls if we then have the scrolls. That's a so-and-so update, to be honest. We added more RNG because we can. Resistance and armor values from affixes have been broadly adjusted to account for introduction of toughness. Okay. Where skeletal mages could fail upgrade to archmages, fix an issue where hostages started at half health. Too quickly could block progression. Yeah, that's stupid. Killing the cannibal champion too quickly in the Temple of Rot could block stronghold. Yes, that's stupid too. Okay. You know what? I mean, for people that were looking forward to season 11, this is good. Like we got some good things in here. They definitely haven't screwed it up. So clap Diablo, you don't suck. That's the best thing. Hamster, when are you gonna make a video on all the secrets and where it's me, dude? I like, which secret is left? If you know of one, please tell me, because I'm out of secrets. I'm out of secrets. Right? I'll find new stuff, don't worry. Right now, we're more intrigued to check out what Diablo has to offer. I mean, the actual Campfire chat, where are we? It's youtube.com/Diablo. Right? We got the chat happening 3 hours, 7 minutes, 30. So we won't probably get more information than what we have already. Right? We got all the information. And don't worry, chat. There will be a TLDR video wrapping this all together. Right? There's secret world bosses, Hamster. I think I covered all of them. But if you know more, Hamster, always happy to write me a Twitter DM and tell me what I missed. Always happy to see. right? Also, someone wrote me a Spanish message as a Twitter DM. Okay, I guess. ¿Cómo estás, señor? You play PoE2, Armin? Yup, sir. We're going to play PoE2 like there's no tomorrow very soon. On the 12th. Druid is coming. We can't wait for Druid. I think everyone is excited for Druid. Arwin, thank you for joining as a Knight of the Round Stable. Thank you for your membership. Okay, the only thing I'm still mad about, Chad, the only thing I'm still mad about is that they didn't change under Sanctification. So we still have the Sanctification, right? And they didn't change that it can still, like, technically ruin an item, right? Which I don't like. However, they made it less ruinous, right? So it's only 4 chances to potential ruin an item, like 1 out of 4 instead of 2 out of 5. 1 out of 4 sounds better than 2 out of 5, right? I'm still unhappy that there's still a chance to actually break something. However, it's like at least somewhere good. And we gotta be real. Like, Season 11 looked like a complete dumpster trash fire right now. And they actually, with the patch notes, I gotta give them credits. If you were excited for the Diablo, you can get even more excited now. So what's your D4 versus PoE2 schedule? Well, since D4 releases on the 11th and Path of Exile on the 12th, I will play 1 day of D4. Yeah. And then play a lot of PoE2 probably. Because the Druid is super exciting. I mean, we're actually getting a new class in PoE2, right? While Diablo is just getting a new season. So that's probably going to look by my schedule. However, I'm still really excited for the Diablo 4 season, right? I want to test out the new systems. So what I have to do this season, what I usually don't do is, I'll be having to rush like a madman to get into the end game, to try out the new system, the new tempering, the new masterworking, and that kind of stuff. Right? That's what we're really personally looking forward to. Because it's gonna be good, Chan. I did not get an answer to my question, sadly. Base health for boss monsters has been increased? No. I'm not, maybe when I get bored with PoE 2, I might try a couple of days of Season 11. The good thing about Season 11 is, if there are any bugs, the later you start, the more likely it's figured out already and hot-faced, right? Which is always a good thing to have that, right? And now we get the Campfire chat where they might be able to answer some of our questions. Because we certainly have the one or the other question, right? I mean, we know now that we can an affix to a greater affix with Sanctification. We know that tempering and masterworking. Tempering can actually now make greater affixes. Which is still crazy to me. How can it be that, like, this is tempering now? Right? So tempering here, there's a chance for a tempered affix to be a greater affix. So if I now go to the smithy and I decide, hey, I would like to temper Finality or Titan's Fall on a 2-handed weapon. That's 4 ranks. And if it goes greater affix, it's 6 ranks. Just like that. And the interesting part is, if I then masterwork, these 6 ranks could become 9 ranks. So things have become interesting again in the damage department. It might be more gambling, again, back to more gambling. However, interesting times ahead. Especially since upping the quality of an item is now upgrading affixes again, which gives us bonus ranks, right? So if the quality of an item goes up by 25% now, so it's 1% per quality, it's 25% up. If I have 8 rank rolls, it's times 1.25. So I guess we go up to 10, yeah. If we have 6, we would go up again to 7.5, probably round it up, round it down. Might be going up to 8. If we have 4 ranks, it's 1.25. We go up to 5. I mean, getting 1 rank bonus doesn't sound like exciting, but 1 rank bonus is so much more damage than before. Right? So that's actually looking rather nifty. And if it's then a greater affix, and the greater affix goes up by 25%, so it goes up, like, let's say from 4 to 5, and then you masterwork it, that's a 50% increase, so 2.5 on top. Which might get rounded up to 3, which I doubt because it never gets rounded up in Diablo, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Crash Diablo. Listen to what the devs have to say. I mean, there's gonna probably be like not too much interesting from the Campfire chat. And Adam Fletcher's gone. Okay, chat? Adam Fletcher's gone.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our latest developer update stream, where we'll be diving into everything coming with Season of Divine Intervention, which is arriving on December 11th, rolling out around 8:30 p.m.
Are they loud
We've
enough?
got a big show for you today. I'm joined by some very familiar faces, some new ones, but some familiar ones, to take you through everyone here. First off, we've got Miss Aislinn Hall. Welcome back to the stream.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm Aislinn. I typically work on seasons. I'm on the final design team as a systems designer.
And hi, my name is Owen Leach. I am the lead encounter designer, and I'm also the seasons lead for Season of Divine Intervention.
Hey, I'm Mark.
Now we know who to blame for screwing up.
Hi, I'm Charles Dunn. I'm a class designer working on the final design team.
Hello, I'm Zavan Hartunian. I'm an associate game director on Diablo 4.
And a PSA for everyone at home. We have cut the AC in here, and there's a lot of us, so it is going to get steamy. I think Owen and I will be regretting our holiday sweater choices pretty soon.
I
But yeah,
made it
for all
10
you
louder,
watching at home,
but I don't
we do
have
have
more
a Twitch
loudness.
drop for this stream. Be sure to link your account and watch any eligible channel, and you'll get the Unhilted Striker one-handed sword cosmetic. So you can watch for 30 minutes. It should be live by now. So yeah, check it out in any eligible channel. So we've got a ton to cover for this stream for Season of Divine Intervention. We had the PTR back in October, which feels like ages ago, but we got a ton of feedback. Thank you all for jumping in. Right now, we're just about to wrap up season
squeeze out a bit
Inferno
more, chat.
Chaos.
A bit
If you haven't
more.
gotten Pandora from the season journey, be sure to complete those objectives. Throughout the stream, we're going to get into PTR learnings. We're going to look at the changes coming with masterworking and itemization.
That's the max I can do.
And then towards the end of the stream, we are going to jump into Q&A. So get your questions ready. We will have members of the community team grabbing those throughout the stream. And then right at the end, we will jump into Q&A. But before we do that, we do have an excellent asset prep for you guys we can check out that goes through everything coming with Season of Divine Intervention. So we'll take a look.
It changed the way how it works, chat. We're now getting these asset flips, right? The gameplay trailer we watched earlier, I think.
Welcome, everyone, to our Season of Divine Intervention developer update. I'm Art Peshkov, and today I'm excited to share some updates coming to Diablo 4. Let's dive right in, starting with itemization. Tempering and masterworking are getting a big overhaul. We've refocused these systems on what matters most: customization and prestige. From now on, there will be no more random rolls. You will now be able to select the specific temper you want. While these tempered affixes have various ranges on them, there is now a chance for the applied affix to be a greater affix. While items can now only have one tempered affix as opposed to 2, we're increasing the number of base affixes found on non-unique items from 3 to 4. Lastly, tempering charges can be restored indefinitely.
Yes. We still have to get those scrolls.
Masterworking now improves the overall quality of your item, giving a direct bonus to its affixes as well as base damage, armor, or resistance. You can masterwork your items up to a maximum quality threshold of 25. And here's the best part. Once you hit that max quality, you get one final roll for a capstone bonus. This capstone bonus masterworks an affix, which boosts its value by 50%. This boost stacks with the greater affix bonus and the effects of quality. You'll be able to re-roll that masterworked affix without losing your hard-earned masterworking quality. These changes are designed to give you more control, more excitement, and more opportunities to build your perfect character.
It's definitely going to make a way more interesting system. So that's a good job.
In an effort to better equalize effective health across classes and builds, we're making several changes to the way effective health interacts with damage reduction and how those individual stats are calculated. Our goal is to streamline player defenses while properly testing them as you climb through difficulty tiers, putting more emphasis on gearing your builds towards survivability.
Why they're showing Torment 3.
Potions are now more impactful and tactical than ever. First up, your base potion capacity is now set to 4, no matter your previous renown progress. Everyone starts with 4 potions. And here's the real game changer. Potion healing is now instant and percentage based. Whenever you use a potion, you'll heal for 35% of your total health immediately. But that's not all. In addition to the potions you pick up, you'll slowly regenerate a potion every 30 seconds. So even in the heat of battle, you'll have a steady supply coming your way.
Even for boss
To balance
fight,
things out,
right?
we're bringing back life on hit as a potential affix. We've also boosted the values for life regeneration, life on kill, and healing percent. These stats are now easier to find and more powerful than before.
Life on kill
And
is
finally,
useless.
healing potion upgrades
We all
are
know
gone.
that.
Since potions now heal a portion of your overall health, upgrades just aren't needed. These changes are designed to make every potion use count, giving you more ways to stay alive and thrive in Sanctuary. To work in tandem with the updates to healing and potions, Fortify is shifting from a type of damage reduction to something much more dynamic.
They just make
An
things
additional
louder.
reservoir of life that's drained to heal you over time. Here's how it works. Whenever you gain Fortify, it will now stack up to your maximum life. And when you're below your maximum life, you'll heal for a percentage of your maximum life per second, in exchange for an equal amount of Fortify.
I like
This
Fortify.
redesign is
The
all
new
about
system
giving
is
you
so good.
more ways to survive the tough battles and strategize your defenses as you climb through the difficulty tiers.
Get ready to fight tougher, smarter elites as you fight your way through Sanctuary. Monsters will now react and adapt to combat, driven by their express desire to end your life. Each monster has its own clear role and identity when fighting, so you'll notice their behavior is no longer predictable. They'll be more dynamic in how they respond to you in battle.
Is this like
Expect
so
your
marketing
defenses
speech?
to be tested. These intelligent packs will deal damage more regularly, and you'll need to stay sharp. Monster affixes are now more powerful, making them a priority to deal with before moving on to other enemies.
Yeah, no.
Monster packs will also group up less, making them harder to take out in one fell swoop. Their tactics have improved, and so yours should too. And for those seeking a challenge, Champion enemy rarity has been reworked to form champion packs. Get ready to face a whole new level of challenge in Sanctuary.
Not really. When you're strong enough, you don't notice this.
First up, we've added over 20 new monster affixes for you to learn and conquer. That means every elite encounter will feel fresh and challenging. But that's not all. Elites now spawn with minions that inherit some of their affixes, making each battle even more dynamic and unpredictable. We've also taken a close look at enemy
Hopefully
affixes
still block water,
overall,
yeah, and they nerfed the
making them
affix
more
for that,
engaging,
too.
reducing overlap in their design, and improving visual clarity so you can better strategize in the heat of combat.
I mean, 10 out of 10 for visual clarity, right?
In the seasonal realm, hellish activities are now under siege by the baleful lesser evils, each bringing their own brand of malice. Duriel dominates Helltide. Belial rules the pit. And Dariel commands the Kurast Undercity. Meanwhile, Azmodan stalks across Sanctuary, appearing as the first new world boss in multiple locations. But that's not all. Just south of Zarbinzet, you'll find 3 summoning altars where Azmodan can be called forth at will. Each altar invokes Azmodan with powers borrowed from one of the other 3 lesser evils. And as you battle these enemies, defeating them with their respective purified or corrupted gifts will grant you divine favor. This divine favor levels up your divine gifts and helps you progress through the seasonal reputation board. This season, the angel Hadriel has returned to Sanctuary, bringing rare boons to aid you in the fight against the newly returned lesser evils. Hadriel shares a fraction of the power of the high heavens, and these blessings manifest as divine gifts, offering you both great rewards and exciting opportunities. Each divine gift has 3 components: a reward, a corrupted gift, and a purified gift. Within your inventory's divine gifts panel, you can slot these gifts in 2 ways. Place them in the interior slot to activate the purified gift. Place them in the exterior slot to activate the corrupted gift. When slotted, your divine gift will trigger its reward bonus, increasing the benefits for that specific gift. Corrupted gifts make related activities more challenging, but still grant the reward bonus. Purified gifts, on the other hand, remove the negative effect, add a positive effect, and double the reward gained. Corrupted gift slots are unlocked automatically. To unlock purified gift slots, progress through the seasonal reputation board.
Okay, now let's clarify Sanctification.
Sanctification is your chance to channel the power of the angels and infuse it directly into your items. When you sanctify an item, here's what can happen. Your item gains bonus quality. Replace an existing affix with a random sanctified affix. An existing affix could be upgraded into a powerful greater affix. Add a bonus affix from a special pool of sanctified affixes. Gain a bonus legendary power. Once you sanctify an item, it becomes unmodifiable. That's the final step in your item's journey.
You get like another
so
25 quality as far as I understood. You have 25 quality, and you could get another 25 quality.
We're introducing Season Rank as an update to our previous player progression system, Season Journey. This update introduces a change to how players progress through seasons, with a slew of new challenges ahead. Let's talk first about tiers. Each tier now requires you to complete a challenge, usually a capstone dungeon, before you can move up to the next rank. If you're up for it, you don't have to wait for the recommended level or difficulty. This means you can now enter Torment before max level, if you can beat max level challenges early. So, if you're feeling brave, you can take on these capstone dungeons early and push your limits. Some of the notable rewards, alongside skill points and Paragon points, will be gaining access to Pit and Tower after beating Capstone 2. Gaining access to seasonal laurels at rank 3. Receiving the seasonal pet after Capstone 5. Access to gilded laurels at rank 7.
They're making like laurels sound like something special, but it's
Let's
actually
talk
just
about Capstone
title.
Dungeons, because they're back and ready to test your progress as you climb through the difficulty
we'll play
tiers.
PoE 2 as well, don't worry. We'll
These
also be
dungeons
online
are
tomorrow
designed
for
to
the
challenge
PoE 2
you at
news.
every step of your journey. And here's something important to remember. Even though each capstone dungeon lists a suggested level, their difficulty doesn't scale with your current level. So plan your approach carefully. Here's a look into the journey ahead.
Yeah, you don't have to do this at level 30, and it would also be stupid to do it at level 30, FYI. Right? You don't actually want to do it. Like, you want to be stronger and then do it. Gear loot, Elder Rock, technically we're looting better gear than ever, or more gear than ever, because they introduced, or they updated
Within the seasonal
drops.
realm, you can earn additional benefits tied to your player progress through the new season rank system. Completing various challenges within each rank will unlock specific benefits. And when you finish an entire rank, you'll earn powerful bonuses. Season rank rewards additional skill points at ranks 1 through 3, and Paragon points at ranks 3 through 6.
Okay.
With these changes, your renown will only stand permanently in the
This is
Eternal
Diablo
Realm.
4, what's up?
And don't forget,
Diablo
the
4
potion
update.
capacity changes also affect the Eternal Realm. And for those exploring Sanctuary, Altars of Lilith and Tenets of Akarat will continue to grant some experience and minor rewards, but not permanent stats or power.
And now for our class updates. A fan-favorite Chaos perk for Sorceress from the Season of Infernal Chaos, Mana Shield, has inspired a redesign to the mythic unique Melted Heart of Selig.
Yes.
Now, all classes will be able to access a massively increased resource pool that also functions as your life total.
But
Sorceress's new unique weapon, Orsivane, grants you great power, but only if you build your character like a glass cannon and avoid using defensive skills. For each defensive skill you are not using, you gain increased damage and access to its associated enchantment effect.
Which is totally worth it.
What is better than one golem? How about 3 slightly smaller golems instead? Necromancer's new unique mace, Gravebloom, grows your golem army. And should one golem fall, it comes back even faster. Whether using Gravebloom or not, casting your golem's active skill will now command your other minions to focus their attacks on your new target.
We're gonna finally have
This
damage
season,
again, Chad.
rogues are doing a dance of death, or rather, a dance of knives with Death's Pavane. These unique pants cause your dance of knives to drop knives from enemies hit, and picking them up further empowers your dance of knives. Additionally, Shadow Clone's targeting logic has been updated, and will now target the same enemy that you initially targeted with your skill. This dramatically improves Shadow Clone's consistency when using skills that require precise aiming, like Penetrating Shot and Rapid Fire.
Randomly everywhere.
Druid's new unique boots, Kamsin Stepwalkers, is one of the most potent mobility items in the game. Build up charge with your nature magic skills, and at max stacks, you gain the maximum possible movement speed and unhindered, and you immobilize enemies you pass through. With the rework to the Bad Omen passive, you will also be constantly zapping all the enemies along the way.
It sounds nice in theory, but it's sadly not good enough.
Barbarians love a good brawl, but Chain Scourged Mail changes everything you know about brawling. Casting a brawling skill will disable it afterwards, and once you have cast every brawling skill on your bar, they are all re-enabled with their cooldowns refreshed. The more skills you chain together in your brawling combo, the bigger the damage boost. Spiritborn are always on the move, and with Path of the Emissary, the more you move, the more you attack. These unique boots constantly unleash core skills from your primary Spirit Hall as you traverse the battlefield.
Yeah, and
Want to do even more damage while moving? Rushing Claw has received a massive buff as well. Combine these to absolutely shred the monsters of Sanctuary.
It's going to be a bait Spiritborn.
A new challenge is coming to Sanctuary, one designed to test the mettle of the most battle-hardened warriors. Introducing the Tower. This is a multi-stage, timed dungeon built for the elite. While the pit pushes you to your limits in the depths, the Tower rises to match you against others who think themselves worthy. We're launching the Tower as a brand new game mode, and this is just the beginning. We plan to update the Tower through multiple seasons, and your feedback will help shape its future. The Tower was built with our new monster combat changes in mind. You'll need to master the latest enemy tactics to gain the upper hand and climb to the top.
I'm still
You'll
not sold
unlock
on
the tower through the obelisk.
It's like pretty
in
much just
Terragar.
bonus farming, right?
Here's
If
how it
you wanted
works.
to.
Fight through multiple floors, each with randomized layouts and monster families. Progress by defeating monsters and collecting orbs. The tougher the monster, the higher their value. During your run,
Their live
pylons
stream is
appear as you
having
make progress.
encoding issues.
You're guaranteed
you
to
notice
see
how
4
the
pylons
whole
in
screen
every tower
blurs in
run.
between? That's not
The
me.
first 3 will appear
That's
in a
literally
random order,
dumb.
but you'll always get each option
In World of
at
Warcraft
least
now
once.
grains. I mean, the tower is an interesting feature.
The 4th pylon will be a random
to test
repeat
your
of one of
character
the
once
previous
it's
3.
maxed.
Orbs drop from
Right?
elites, champions, and
To just
goblins,
see, hey,
so
how
keep
good
an eye
they
out for
perform. I
those
mean, you'll never
high-value
be
targets.
performing as good as the Asians.
With the arrival of the tower,
you can at least
leaderboards
try.
are making their triumphant return to Diablo 4. This is where the best of the best will compete for the top spot. After your tower run, you'll see the tower tier you completed and your final time. There will be separate leaderboards for hardcore and normal modes, so everyone has a chance to shine. We have big plans for leaderboards. For now, we're focused on introducing the core functionality, collecting feedback, and planning ahead for future updates. Tower and leaderboards will be enabled later in the season, so stay tuned for updates through our upcoming blogs and notes.
Tower is not actually
These are
activated
just
at
a
the start
few
of the
of the
season. I thought
exciting
we're getting it
updates
right
coming
away.
in the season of Divine Intervention.
Huh.
See you all in Sanctuary.
I do like the key art, right? The Asmodin, Divine Intervention, it looks good.
Whew, okay. That was a lot. There's a ton coming this season. I didn't mention it earlier, but the patch notes for the upcoming season and the blog are now live. So for anything we chat about across the stream, you can go and check those out. Following the stream, we'll have a ton of additional information in there. But if you have any other questions, also don't forget, drop those in Twitch chat because we will be collecting them throughout the stream. But yeah, we got to talk about, we had our PTR back in October. We had a ton of feedback. We're all really excited to get into it. So Owen, I mean, the Lesser Evils are back. Hadriel's back. Asmodan's
So
here.
they have interesting things to say,
he's
where I'm
back
just
with
gonna
all his
cut
piercings
this
and whatnot.
short.
So
All the piercings.
all the piercings are
Two
back.
very specific piercings. But no, yeah, we're super excited. The season of Divine Intervention, heaven and hell battling it out. It's really going to be
Isn't
great.
releasing on the 11th playing
I
down
want to talk a
yes.
bit about sort of our PTR learnings and sort of what we've changed from PTR to what we're going to release. So there's a lot of little things that we changed, and I encourage you to read those patch notes. So I'll focus mainly on the things that people maybe want to hear the most or that they dislike the
Nothing
most.
changed from PTR, really. That's
going
wrong.
through the
It's
different Lesser
tons
Evil
changed,
Invasion
especially with
activities, we'll
Masterwork and
start with the
Tempering.
pit. So with Belial, some of you folks may have noticed that he likes to
broke the
monologue,
sound.
like Syndrome, if y'all, incredible reference, sorry. And he'd have to give his whole death speech before you actually won the pit run. We fixed that. You kill Belial, you'll win the pit run immediately. We did some improvements on the eyeballs that you had to click in the pit. It's very difficult in the pit to click something specifically, especially on controller. So now if you just walk up to one of those eyeballs, it'll pop and you won't have to actually pixel hunt for that thing. We also got feedback on the Belial ambush things. He'll pop up and do an attack and he'll taunt you and say some stuff. But that did a knockback and was happening fairly often. We got some pretty strong feedback that maybe that was annoying. So we got rid of the feedback. We had him pop up less. But the pit is fresh. It's awesome. We really encourage you to check it out. We also did a ton of updates to the Undercity. But again, just to focus on the high-level ones of some specific pain points. We reduced the time-stealing effects in the Undercity a lot. Indaria would show up and she would steal a lot of different time. Time with her different attacks. We reduced that a lot. Her Nightmare Dungeon affixes that we sort of imposed upon the Undercity, we reduced those as well, just to make it a little more engaging and less punishing for, we don't want to make it 10 times more difficult, but
Actually
it's still
removing
really
the
fresh,
annoying
and,
stuff
Aislin's going
was
to
a
talk about all the
surprise.
awesome changes we made to things like loot for the Undercity and stuff like that. We fixed the bug where we weren't even dropping Undercity tributes, so those will show up and you can use those. I totally encourage you to check it out. And then there's this stupid quirk with the Andariel boss fight that we fixed in PTR where like she would be stuck in a phase transition until she played her whole animation. So we fixed that. If you bring her down past the life threshold, you can just nuke her. You're not gonna have to sit there and watch her.
She's dramatic.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's very dramatic. Yeah, the anguish for our player, right? We updated Helltide. Everybody loved that screen vignette effect. No, I'm just kidding. We took the screen vignette effect off. That was causing some motion sickness stuff. So if that was bothering you, that's gone now. You may have also noticed that the XP globes that maggots were dropping were a little overtuned in the fact that you could gain 40 levels in 2 minutes. So obviously we reduced that to make it more in line with the intended pace of the game. We added new Helltide commanders, a bunch of new enemies.
Okay, so the XP globes are better balanced now, ladies and gentlemen.
And then lastly, we gave Duriel some more attacks. So if you don't pay attention, he will eat you and he will kill you. So have fun with that.
Nice.
And then the last event, that's Asmodan. So we got such great feedback on Asmodan, and people love seeing him back, and it's the first time that all 4 Lesser Evils are together in a Diablo game, like super exciting. And we didn't change too much about that. The only thing we changed was in the How Is Our Overland event. Well, first and foremost, you're not going to gain 40 levels anymore from killing a world boss. Obviously, yeah, it was missed a 0 or something at some point, but all world bosses will reward appropriate level of EXP. So, yeah, sorry for your speed living strats, guides that have already been written. We also added resilience to that How Is Our event to prevent just one tapping when he would show up. So you'll get to experience the full world boss fight, as you do with every other world boss event. And then we also updated the lesser evil influences. So if you're not familiar with the How Rozar event, you could interact with shrines from Andariel or Duriel and Belial, and that would affect the Azmodan boss fight. We updated those to be a lot clearer and a lot more obvious as to like what is happening from those and a lot more deadly. So it will matter which one you pick. So really excited to see sort of how you react to the new added twists on the Azmodan world boss. So the other part I want to talk about is Evolved Monster Combat. So we were just sort of blown away by the reception of Evolved Monster Combat. Folks really enjoyed the added challenge, the 20+ new affixes that we added. But again, there were some pain points, so we wanted to focus on 2 specific areas for improvement, and that is the spikiness as well as the visual clarity. So I'll talk about spikiness first.
You're for sure playing Diablo on the 12th. I'm playing Diablo on the 11th and
we looked
PoE
across
on the 12th.
the board at all the different new affixes and identified any outliers that were dealing just too much damage or weren't obvious enough in terms of where they're going to hit, things like that, and just standardize that damage so you don't run into a tower run and you're like, well, that guy's got crackling soul, F this, I'm out, right? Like, no, so nothing will be exponentially more punishing than anything else. And we also looked at the spikiness of CC. We heard you loud and clear that maybe there was too much CC or you didn't, it was happening too often or you didn't see it coming. So we took a good hard look at all CC that was being applied by our elite affixes. We created some rules that bound how often it can show up or how long it will last and created standardization across the board. We also just reduced generally how often they appear. And we also focused a lot on the lower level player experience to make sure that from the get-go you're not getting smoked by all these new combat changes. And I'm sure some of the other folks will talk a little bit more about that. And then the last part is our visual clarity. There was a lot of feedback that maybe some of the things were harder to see what was happening, or
they're
both
to raise the day before PoE 2.
So we did a lot.
Diablo,
they don't pass on all of our affixes. We even updated the visuals on elites and champions, so they had a little bit of an aura, but now they're going to have like a blue and yellow shimmer to them, so they'll stand out amongst the pack. So we even removed the overhead icons to try to reduce that visual noise. So now when an elite with 5 minions show up, you're not going to have what's 4 times whatever I just said, 6, right? Yeah, 24 different little icons across the board. You'll still see it when you hover your mouse over it, so you'll know what affixes they have, but it'll just feel clearer and crisper, and it'll feel much better. So we're really excited. We appreciate all the feedback from PTR, and we think that combat is in the best spot it's ever been since D4's launch.
I actually remember the first time I got to go in and test Evolved Monster.
Also, like, the games releasing at the same time really doesn't matter for the average player, because you can play on your own time.
You didn't try it on the PTR.
Diablo's up for 4 months,
I think too,
3 months. PoE's up for 4 months.
There's so many times
you get all the time in the world. It only matters for content creators.
I know there's a lot of feedback around speeding up those phases, so having those changes in so that now you can skip a few of those phases and just get those fights kind of done more quickly, especially because you're going to be running them so often. It's really nice to see. But yeah, for people, if you haven't played in a few seasons, jumping into this Evolved Monster Combat, it's going to feel really different. I know I heard a designer like a few days ago saying like, hey, we expect players to die. So keep your feedback coming because it should be challenging. But hopefully, yeah, we can strike that right balance. And speaking of players, if you haven't been around for a while, we've got some very exciting changes coming to itemization with this next season. Turns out tempering will no longer be random. You'll be able to select the temper that you want on your item. So Art, I mean, we got a lot of feedback from the PTR. We got changes to masterworking. We've got Sanctification coming this season. It's a really exciting time for items.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for the feedback. It was really invaluable. We took some pretty big swings with the things that we tried to do in the season of Divine Intervention. And coming up like on the changes to tempering, really, we're really happy with the kind of how we reframe tempering. Now it's a deterministic way to kind of customize your item. What we noticed is that there was a lack of like excitement and emphasis. So one of the changes that we made in the PTR is that when you temper a ancestral item, you now have a chance for the tempered affix to crit and upgrade into a GA version of that affix, which is something
I think that's the coolest change. Really, but it also makes every temper that's not GA be shit.
For masterworking, we have 2 key changes that we wanted to make to the system. The first one is that quality wasn't quite doing a good enough job of kind of being the generally make your item better system. So now, in addition to increasing the base damage, armor, or resistance of your item, quality is also going to increase the affix values of your item. So generally, your numbers just go up when you quality an item. And we've also increased the threshold of quality to 25. So you'll be able to get a 25% boost to the base stat and the affixes on your item just by taking it through the quality.
Welcome back, brother.
So at this point, quality
Also,
more or less affects almost everything.
No, I don't like.
Yeah, everything except for like the legendary
like
power
Tony Hawk.
or unique power on the
Streamer.
Right.
And then the second big change that we wanted to make to masterworking
you have still your
is with
5
the
temper
masterwork
attempts,
affix,
and then
we
you can
call it
reset
the capstone.
indefinitely.
We tried to streamline the system, but we kind of went too far, and there was a little bit too. We took out too much of the optimization and kind of like build expression from the system. So the masterwork affix, the capstone, it can once again stack with greater affixes. It's not mutually exclusive anymore. So you can
That's
like
fantastic.
really target the specific affix that you want to boost and kind of hyper optimize that. For Sanctification, thank you for we were blown away by the feedback. The thing that we noticed pretty consistently is that we just kind of undertuned it, right? Like it's a seasonal itemization feature. The amount of power that it needs to bring it has to be pretty high, and we were just a bit too conservative with where we landed. So we made a couple of changes to Sanctification. The first one is that the indestructible outcome is just gone. It's been entirely replaced by a new outcome, and this new outcome adds bonus quality. So if this outcome happens, your item will get 5 to 25 quality added to it as a bonus. This stacks with the quality for masterworking. So there's that. Next up, change affix. This was one that we heard a lot of feedback on. So what we've done here is we've made it so that the change affix outcome can no longer occur on ancestral uniques or mythic unique items. So don't worry, your hypothetical Shaco with GA CDR that you are going to hit change affix on, and that can't happen anymore. So,
and you can sanctify
lastly,
mythic.
we added some more stuff to the legendary pools in Sanctification. First off, there were some things just missing, like there were a bunch of offensive legendaries that were just missing. And second off, I don't want to spoil it, but I added some kind of crazy shit in there. So you guys can find it, and that's it. There's a couple other changes we made to base items to kind of go along with the revised item journey. We realized that players are going to be going through the crafting flows and sanctifying and going through a lot more items. So we wanted to make it a little bit easier for you to get multi-GA items. So what we've done is we've increased the chance for you to get 2, 3, and 4 GA items when an ancestral item drops. Right.
And that chance increased the torment tier.
Lastly, on the itemization space, we wanted to make it a little bit easier for people to hit critical breakpoints with things like CDR. So we've added some of these affixes onto item slots that they weren't previously available before. That's it for the itemization stuff. One other important thing, kind of topic that I want to hit is toughness. We got a lot of great feedback on toughness, and kind of the thing that we want to make better with toughness is for you to understand where you need to be at and what is actually happening with your defenses. So we made a couple of changes to really just provide you with more information. First and foremost is we added in toughness to the item comparison. So when you're comparing two pieces of
toughness
armor,
feedback
it'll
was
actually tell you
sucks.
how much your toughness is going to change by a percentage
feedback.
amount. We added a bunch more information to the detailed stats pane for toughness. It'll tell you your effective DR per damage type and stuff like that now. And finally, in the difficulty selection screen, we added some minimum recommended toughness settings per torment tier. So you have something to shoot for, an idea of where to shoot for, as you enter a new torment tier.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so a lot coming with itemization this season. I'm really excited for Sanctification. I feel like a lot of the feedback I was seeing was, even though it hasn't launched yet, is
put on your bingo card, Mark
game.
Jonathan, make a remark about the 4-season
not much
release.
we can do there, but definitely
I
enjoy
think they're going to ignore it wholesale embrace because
that's for sure.
The Diablos,
the
Diablos season is generic, while the new PoE season is just so much more, especially with a new class, and that's just already GG.
Awesome. Okay. So next up, we do have some big changes coming to how we're going to move through the no longer season journey, now season rank. Aislinn.
Yes.
How are things changing next season?
Yeah. Well, we have 3 broad topics in my section here that I'm going to be talking through. The first is actually just general economy and leveling changes. I want to touch on a few things. So please clap. There's going to be, you're going to be able to teleport directly to the training grounds now. So that's great. Pretty awesome. And that's in addition to adding vendors to the training grounds that we did in PTR. So
it's a little change was important.
Nicer quality of life. The second
Embrace
is
could be,
that you're going to
but I
unlock
don't think we're
all
going to get
waypoints,
Act 5. Maybe we'll get an intermediary
as long
act
as you pick
first.
the appropriate campaign skip. So no more running around. You'll just be able to grab them immediately and zap wherever you want. And then the other economy and leveling thing we have is we took a big holistic look at Undercity rewards in general. So we found that they didn't feel like super focused when you went into the Undercity, and they also didn't feel like they were giving you appropriate loot at various points in the player journey. So we kind of just buffed the hell out of it. Like in general, like it's a lot better now. If you're low level and you go into the one that gives you experience, it will give you quite a bit more experience. Not 40 levels Maggot or Asmodan worth, but a good amount. And so I highly recommend you actually run your tributes. Like, they're super worth it now. They give you lots of great stuff. So go in there and try out the Undercity. It's going to be great. And, and Dario's going to be in there, too.
Yeah, I would encourage really anybody who hasn't played Undercity or gave it a shot one time when Vessel of Hatred launched and haven't played it since. We've changed so much. I mean, talk about all those tributes. We even added new tributes for Endario specifically, and it's going to be way more rewarding.
And the tributes are giving you more XP now, so you can level faster with them.
And if you don't even know what it is, it's this really awesome time-based mode. I promise it's fun as hell, so definitely check it out.
Do it. But yeah, moving on to season ranks, the new feature we added in the PTR. So we straight up just added 12 more Paragon points to the game that you get from that. So yeah, that's a thing.
Huge.
They're going to be distributed in large and small clusters throughout the season rank system. It's also available on Eternal Renown as well. And then we also found that we were getting a lot of feedback about like, oh, hey, the capstone rewards from actually beating a capstone dungeon don't actually feel significant enough for like how it feels like it should be.
Older version of Ninja.
And so we increased the number of skill points you get from capstone dungeons from 1 to 2. So that's a bigger burst now. And the caches you get from them that give you loot are just like way better as well. So highly encourage you to go try out the capstones pretty much as soon as you're capable of doing it.
QE2 has a very big patch coming. While Diablo 4 just has a new season.
You really feel it in your
That's the big difference, right?
Yes.
Meaningful content patch versus
and then finally, we
players
added
happy.
all the cosmetic goodies to season ranks that were omitted from PTR. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in there, including laurels, which is a new thing in the season rank system. Nifty little laurel wreath that goes on your character's nameplate so you can show off how good at the game you are. And there's also a golden laurel you can get from beating the last season rank, which is going to be pretty hard this season. It's going to take a lot to beat the last season rank.
Yeah, we're going to just do that on day one,
for all those people that have been saying like, oh, I wish there was like more, the game was asking me to do more things because I want to play more Diablo. There are objectives that are asking you to do quite a few things now in the final rank, so there's a lot of content there. Yeah.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like with Season of Witchcraft, like seeing everyone flying around with Dorian, like seeing that extra kind of peacock, because now the pet that you're in the season will be rank 5. You beat rank 5.
Yes.
So now I feel like the laurel will be the new chase item to see. Once you're in town, see people walking around with their golden laurels. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And I know like there was a lot of feedback in the PTR regarding how long it takes to defeat a capstone boss. Like I know you can go in, you can challenge the boss at any point. You feel powerful enough, but it's nice to hear that we have like kind of sped up that boss. That boss
Quality of life updates tons.
To make
manual.
A bit
they
faster,
actually
still very challenging, but
season 11 with this,
a bit more
if you were
quickly,
interested.
To, like,
no new hero, no not coming before the expansion, brother.
Yeah, you're totally right, Marcus. We wanted to make sure that when you're going through capstones, it's fairly snappy because it's going to be something that you're going to be doing, season over season. So we don't want you to feel like you're stuck in a capstone dungeon. So they're going to hit you harder and really test your build and make sure that you're actually capable of beating them, but you're not going to be stuck in the fights and stuck in the dungeon for too long. We also kind of realized that optional objectives didn't exactly vibe with the concept of capstone dungeons too well. So now it's just, it's just get to the end, do the thing, you're done, you get all your great stuff, and you're out of there. And we also did a pretty neat thematic pass on all the capstone dungeons. There's like not new tile sets, but like different tile sets in the capstones, and they really evoke the grim, the grim atmosphere of the Diablo franchise now. So pretty excited for you guys to check it out.
Chat, there will be a TLDR video coming tonight.
Something that
with
we had
all of this
previously
wrapped
in the game, and a lot of them were really
all
iconic and exciting. Things like the cathedral,
nifty 15 minutes,
so
bam bam.
Getting these to kind of be leveled up and be that same kind of tier of iconic place thematically is really cool, and I'm super excited for people to see it.
And I love the feeling like when you go to challenge a Capstone dungeon, you're like, okay, I'm shooting the moon here. Like, we're gonna see if this works. Like, I might die. That's fine. But being able to do that at any point, be like, okay, I'm gonna roll the dice. We're gonna gamble here and see how it works out. It's a fun feeling. I like doing that. It's
actually a question that's asked quite a lot on these streams.
Me too. I love trying to see like how low level, like try to go in as low level as possible. So season over season, I will definitely be like, well, maybe I could do the first one at level 20, and I'll probably be wrong. We'll see.
Just calling up from Twitch chat. Sare says, I want that sheep sweater. So we've got fans of the sweater in chat. Speaking of sweaters, Owen, sweat levels. You starting to cut? Yeah, it's starting to brew. No, nothing too bad. But yeah, we're
makeup people in here.
We all came in and we were like, oh, we're all wearing cute sweaters, and then we were like, oh my god, it's gonna get so hot in here.
It's getting good. Yeah, there may or may not be some side bets in the production room as to when we start sweating. So
we're getting 3-on-3 right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to cook on that. Unreal. Thank you for that, Aislinn.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Sir Charles, you're going to turn around a little bit here.
Yeah.
I feel like every season you've always got a ton of feedback to sift through. This PTR was no different. You know, there was a lot of feedback around the Sork teleport changes that people seem to be extremely passionate about. Amongst changes to a bunch of other classes. So yeah, curious what's changed from the PTR.
Definitely, yeah. I'll talk about that. You know, the Sork teleport changes was probably one of the biggest points of feedback on class balance and class tuning that we got. Basically, we made some changes testing on PTR that made it a little harder for Sorks to really embrace that full teleport fantasy. And so we've looked at rechanging those around so that you can use the Oculus unique to really unlock this teleport build now. So made some adjustments. We still want you to be able to build into it and build into this like repeated chain teleporting kind of build, but it's going to really be empowered by the Oculus unique.
Yeah, you need to actually go and you can't just casually do it on every build.
In the previous season, in Season of Infernal Chaos, we had Chaos perks. And one of the most popular and kind of fan favorite ones there was the Mana Shield Chaos perk, which converted your mana pool as a Sork into your health total. And so we said, hey, this has been really popular, really successful. Let's put it onto a mythic unique, the Melted Heart of Selig, which was already trying to do something similar. But now that we had this alternative version of it that we know was really successful, we decided to move it in there. On the PTR, we test that out, and of course, there's some wrinkles with that. It goes from being a sorcerer-specific power on Season of Infernal Chaos to now everybody can get it with this mythic unique. And that caused a few problems, to put it lightly. Basically, there's a lot of effects in the game that say, you know, do something for every point of resource you have, or some modification there. And essentially, this would give you thousands and thousands of your resource, whether it be mana or fury or whatever per class. And that was problematic. So on a lot of the cases, we had to implement caps on them.
Say, okay, one skill point, core skill, second skill point, the next.
And we have players did not like that. You guys did not like those caps. They were kind of shoehorned in a lot of different places, really just to make this one unique work. And also, we missed a few of them on the PTR. Oops. So some things were a little bit overpowered there. So instead, post-PTR, we looked at the Melted Heart of Selig and retuned it a little bit. We still wanted to keep that fantasy of my resource goes up and my resource is my life total now. But we didn't want you to have literally tens of thousands of resource. So instead, it's going to simply double your resource pool. Still a lot of bonus. And then the damage that you're taking is going to be converted at a ratio down to your resource. So it's not going to be a straight one-to-one like it was previously, because that's why we needed to give you tens of thousands to kind of make it equivalent to your health pool. Now it'll convert at a ratio. You'll still be very tanky. It'll still convert the damage to your resource as your life total, but it won't be breaking so many other aspects of the game. And of course, we've then removed all of those caps that we had implemented on the PTR across various legendaries and effects across every other class.
As a Sork main, I'm super excited, Oculus, to have teleport. Yeah. But also for everyone else who doesn't play Sork, they get to experience some of the cool stuff that we had in last season with the Melted Heart. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I feel like you're telling me that if Melted Heart of Selig drops, I should be excited now.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more powerful than it was in previous seasons. It's still going to be a very tanky item, and you can still unlock some interesting synergies and interactions with that double-sized mana pool because all those effects are uncapped.
So far, they didn't give us anything really interesting.
Now they're all uncapped. So it's still going to be a very powerful.
We didn't read in the patch notes.
Oh yeah, dude.
Sort of speaking about the Chaos perks and Chaos armor from the previous season, we've definitely heard the feedback, and I felt it myself. Some builds definitely felt like they were kind of lacking because they really relied on some of those perks or armor in the past. I played a whole lot of Spiritborn last season, and I loved having both Rod of Kapaleke and Sepizantek, something you can't really do. Won't be able to do moving forward. I love breaking the game that way. And I think everyone here on the team has heard that feedback, and we really like the way that those systems interacted to kind of allow you to play new and interesting builds. We're going to be taking that feedback and looking for ways to reintegrate these types of effects and these design learnings around the Chaos perks and Chaos armor into future updates. And so, one example was that Melted Heart of Selig update, and we're going to continue to do that moving forward.
I think that's one of the fun reminders of why seasons can be so fun, is that we can do these we can do some crazy shit and see what sticks and see what's fun. So it is really cool that Chaos armor did resound so well with players,
and the new season concept new nothing. It's
different build combination. So
this is a season that adds
we're looking at it in
minimal
the future
things and reworks a system that needed rework. Tempering and Master World.
I also want to chime in of some other learnings from season 12.
And that's it.
Or excuse me, season of Infernal Chaos. There we go. It was 10 anyway. Right, yeah.
Numbers.
You're playing Diablo 4, not for the crazy upgrades. You're playing them.
One of the great things about the season of Infernal Chaos was there were all these uniques that Charles was talking about. There was multiple avenues to collect those different uniques, and that's something that we wanted to carry through. We found that players didn't always enjoy just sitting in the boss layer, the layer boss game mode, and just slaughtering Duriel on loop for 4 hours straight. So we carried that feedback into the season of Divine Intervention, and we have a lot of different routes to collect these awesome mythics and uniques. And for example, if maybe I really want a unique that only Andariel on the lair boss drops, well, you can go into Undercity and kill Andariel, and she might drop it. And then if she doesn't, she'll drop a Corrupted Essence that you could then pick up and take to the Hawazar Overland event.
Is the start date? Yes, it's on the 11th now.
There, you can get another shot by cashing
one
that
day
in.
before
PoE.
PoE.
We want to allow players to sort of choose their own path to the loot that they're looking for. So we're not sort of locking you in any specific activity. And you want those cool uniques, go run the pit and get a bunch of Corrupted Essences from Belial, and Belial's loot pool is everything from the layer bosses, so you can get it that way, right? And it's really up to you to play the game the way you want to play.
Yeah, it's so nice having that variety too, because we've all been there where you start hitting the same boss over and over and over, and then you just start getting burnt out because you're like, damn it, Duriel, come on. I know, you know what I want. You got to drop it. So having a few different avenues that just kind of keep it fresh.
Well, it's a rework
have
season.
some different ways to get those uniques is nice.
As many
Varieties
seasons
is
have
spice
been.
Life after all.
Indeed.
What else? Oh, please drop your questions in Twitch chat. I'm just going to keep reminding people throughout the stream. We are collecting your questions. Do drop those. And I know, for Charles too, he did touch on definitely the highlights of the class balance changes that we got from PTR. But please do scan through the patch notes. They are 11,000 words, so they won't be hitting in all localizations immediately. We'll have them eventually, but the blog is out in all languages.
The season 11
so
changes
for any
are
other
definitely
details, you can
for the
definitely go check those
expansion.
out there. Another thing we did take a big look at in the PTR this past season was the tower and leaderboards. It was really, really cool to see the arrival of leaderboards in Diablo 4. The tower was a really great experience where players could jump in. We had the chance to get a lot of feedback, do a lot of testing. Zavin, I know you're very busy with all the feedback you had for the players, and tell us a little bit about that.
So just 11,000 words. That's just for all this other stuff. It's thank you to everyone who's been playing the PTR. For people who didn't check it out, the tower and the leaderboard kind of feature is in the game in the beta format. It's something we haven't really done in the past, but the intention is this is a feature that we want to build with the community. We really want your feedback. It's something that we're committing to developing over a long period of time.
Saying we want to build this with the community sounds like we have no clue.
But also make sure that it's being done in a very responsible way that is actually doing its job, highlighting the most masterful players of Diablo that we have. It's actually one of our pillars is total Diablo 4 mastery. That is what this mode should be highlighting. So it's not just, kind of the tank and spank kind of stuff that we've seen in the pit historically. We want to add as much depth to the players' decision making here as possible. And some of it is going to be a bit nuanced, and we anticipate it's going to be coming up more and more over time. But it kind of starts with this very stable starting point that we're trying to build with the tower. So again, thank you everyone for checking it out on the PTR. It will not be launching with the Season of Divine Intervention, however. The tower will remain locked. It will be coming back in the new year with patch 252. This is actually kind of just to make sure that we have some stability with the season launch, and then when the tower shows up,
honestly, it's for everyone,
it's online,
so they grind
and people
up.
are kind of ready to tackle it. But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the learnings that we've got. You know, this is still a
all
beta.
Your internal items. I mean, all your internal items are always useless.
Like this openly with the community, with as much transparency as we're intending to have, I think, ever. So this is going to be a little bit of a different way that we're going to be talking about this, and we're going to be having a lot more kind of information.
Shield Paladin, yeah. I mean, Necro is a Paladin essentially, just
so
death.
Look forward to that. But I kind of wanted to also take a little bit of time and just say, we know that the version that we have is kind of rough. That was the intention. We wanted to get eyes on it right away. We wanted to make sure that the version that we're committing to is the one that's right for the game, it's right for the community. So there's a couple big ticket kind of topics that we've seen, and I want to address a few of them. So one is fishing. If anyone ever played Greater Rifts in Diablo 3, yeah, it's a concept that kind of took over that mode a little bit, and it was really hard for us to battle. And I'll be honest, it's very easy for us to kind of, turn off the capability to fish entirely. It's, we just put a lever penalty or something on it, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to get ourselves into a position or get the tower into a position where you are having to play and finish
Paladin
a
will
bad
be the biggest
run,
fumble. No,
right?
I don't think.
You messed up. You hit the wrong button.
Have zero interest
something
in Paladin,
hit you when you didn't want it
and
to.
I would rather see something
whatever
new and
it is.
exciting.
We don't want you
than
to feel
Paladin,
compelled or required
personally.
to have to finish the run. So we want to do everything we can to preserve your ability to say, you know what, no, that run's not going well for me. I don't want to finish this. So instead, the kind of idea is we want to remove as much of the
tower needs to be
severe
sold self-owned,
outliers
yes, and that's
from
not
the
even the
tower as
discussion,
possible. Owen talked a little bit, I think, right, about some of the stuff we were doing on the elite affixes side, but this is something we're looking at for everything. So, there's a couple bosses that were, misbehaving that we're looking at. They'll be taken away and spoken to. And someday they'll come back when they're doing better. But it's also kind of on the environmental side, right? Like the game has a ton of environments, a bunch of tile sets as we call them. And some of them are more conducive to kind of the blaster play and the kind of competitive mode play than others. So we tried a bunch of them out kind of intentionally. And one of them that we tried out was our cave, just the old reliable standard cave. Yeah, caves suck. They're terrible for this. So they're out. They're out. They're not coming back until we actually solve the underlying issues with how do you make this, because they look beautiful. The art is amazing. Our art teams did a fantastic job, but they're not the right thing for this. So we want to aim at consistency and make sure that the mode is fun and exciting and competitive over just cramming visual variety in it just for its own sake. So some of that stuff we're anticipating is going to help solve the fishing problem. But it's not going to be something we're going to solve in a day. We know it's going to take time, and we're committed to doing the work necessary to get it to that healthy place.
It's a new league 11th in 8 days.
One of the other things is, when we say like total Diablo 4 mastery, it's not just your preparation, getting your gear, your build in order, getting your tempers and stuff like that. It's not just that. It's also kind of the as you play. And a big part of Diablo 4 is you don't actually know exactly what's going to happen at all times. There's a huge degree of randomness and RNG that the best players can just deal with, no matter what. No matter what the game throws at them, they can deal with it. So we want to preserve that as much as possible. And there's other things like navigation in the environment and things like that that are other facets of skill expression for the player. So all this comes down to something as simple as progress orbs. So as you're playing through the tower and you kill elites, or if you're lucky enough to find a goblin, they'll drop orbs as you murder them.
Still talking about the tower.
And those orbs will drop
you lost
on the floor,
me in between. Like, what are you rambling on about, Stephen?
Is when it drops, your ability to navigate to that space, not get hit by whatever thing the elites are throwing at you or whatever, is again another facet of skill expression in the game. But we do recognize that in some cases, you kill a guy and he drops the orb 7 miles the other direction going backwards, and it just sucks. So there are things that we're trying to do to have them drop a little smarter, to have them drop kind of towards the flow of play and towards the player who did the killing blow. So they still have to pick it up. They still have to deal with kind of the navigation of the world and all the hazards and stuff that are in play from the elites and stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, I have to backtrack in this dungeon to pick up the orb. This is something we can fine tune. We intend to fine tune as time goes on.
Make the
but again, it's little things like that we want to make sure we're listening to you guys, that we are building this mode in service to you guys to have that awesome competitive environment. Which is kind of the last big topic, I guess, is a lot of people noticed, hey, this thing's really similar to the pit. And it's like, yeah, it totally is. And so one of the other kind of pillars that we've got is what we've called only in Diablo 4.
D2 is better than D4. I heavily disagree. But
both modes share a lot of DNA with rifts and greater rifts from Diablo 3, and so they're very similar right now.
Season 11 is December 11th.
For that is the pit has been kind of a surrogate.
One day of Diablo 4
because we haven't had something like the tower.
PoE
so going forward, what we're actually looking to do is not just differentiate the pit. Sorry,
and then Code Vein at the end of January.
But also the pit.
It's currently
as well.
my plan.
Both modes we feel need to kind of move away from where they are to be the best versions of themselves. Players deserve to have a really awesome endgame grinding mode like the pit, and they deserve to have a really awesome, stable, competitive mode like the tower. And there should be no compromise over which one wins if we're making one mode, right? So fuck it, let's make two. And we'll make one for the people who want to do leaderboard climbing, and we'll make one for the people that want to be grinding the end game. And both modes could be the best version of themselves, but that's going to take time, right? And so Tower is going to start very similar because it's starting at the same foundation. And over time,
definitely going to pump out some D4 videos, right?
It'll morph.
But tomorrow's also the PoE, and PoE will have so much content.
Freed up to occupy.
I'm going to be busy making videos for days, right?
Pseudo competitive mode anymore. It can just be whatever it needs to be.
I miss it, but how if they are making up for the power loss?
Exciting.
They change the masterworking and tempering again.
Look forward to more information on that again in the new year, and I hope to see everyone on the leaderboards.
And build variety too. So
yeah.
Due to tempering and masterworking changes,
to note for the
build variety,
home, you will not see patch notes for the tower, although we did make a huge suite of changes following feedback from the PTR, so expect that for patch 252, where we'll give you more updates related to some feedback we got around like pylons and things of that nature. Boss health. Yeah. So no, Zavin, that's fantastic. I know, we got so much feedback related to how much the pit and the tower do feel very similar. But for the people at home too, check out the blog because we do have a bit of an outline of how we are going to develop this. It's going to be in different stages, so your feedback will be critical as we develop this in tandem with you, just like Zavin said. So please keep giving us your feedback because this will help shape the mode to make something that's competitive and challenging and exciting, and something that you'll enjoy for a long, long time, which is awesome. So I hope you've been dropping your questions in chat because we will be heading over to Q&A. So I know we do have...
Perfect. That's my moment where I'm going to mute the nerds behind me. Because to be honest, the Q&A is the most useless things ever. Because people literally ask questions like, what color of socks are you wearing right now? Or is Chaos Armor coming back? Which is a complete useless question, right? But because the answer is no, not yet. So generally speaking, I am very happy with the changes they made. So I was not super excited for Season 11 because they actually ruined a lot of stuff. But with the changes they're making, build variety is back, character power is back, survival is also back. It makes everything more convenient again. And they took out a lot of the chance to ruin items with the Sanctification. So I would say, personally, for my opinion, okay, if you are excited for Season 11, it's going to be better than you expected it to be. If you were not excited for Season 11, this doesn't change anything for you, right? If you were not planning to play, you're still not going to play. And if you were planning to play, god damn it, the changes were actually fire. And that's the best way how I can say it, right? If you're done, you're done. If you're not done, still enjoying the game like me, you're good to go. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go offline here, and I'm going to compile the video with all the changes together. And you can tell me if it still sucks in the comments below then, under that video that we're releasing in roughly an hour. Okay? We'll see. So thank you for watching, chat. Thank you for coming. Thank you for lurking. I'm going to quickly record our TLDR, State of Diablo. And I think it's going to surprise the one or the other when we have everything nicely wrapped up together. So shout out for watching this late, and hopefully to see you also on the video.